Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Sorry about that. I was exiting some of my other Google Chrome windows in order to beef up the amount of power I could dedicate to this stream. But of course, it led to the countdown freezing. But I hope you enjoyed the little couple of seconds that we got of that. So listen, I was just mentioning this to my friends on TikTok because I am simultaneously live with them, that this is the first time that I am doing a Vanderpump Rules recap. So I'm a little bit nervous. I don't know you guys' level of interest in Vanderpump Rules, but I feel like this is how you find out, right? By talking about it and seeing what the engagement is like. So if you are here, I see a couple of you already here, please drop a mic. Let me know where you're watching from or how you'd rate the episode on a scale from 1 to 10. So, I like Vanderpump Rules, okay? It's my guilty pleasure show. Like, yes, it has had a couple of bad seasons, but what show hasn't? I truly feel as though this season is going to be the season where they come back with a vengeance. The trailer truly lured me in, and I feel like I'm in it for the long haul with this show. There's just so much to explore and discover and whatnot. I do have to say also, Lala Kent is looking better than ever. Does she have her fair share of issues? Yes, she absolutely does. But does she look damn beautiful? You're darn right she does. Another really interesting plot twist for this season is the divorce of Tom Sandoval and Katie. Not me saying Tom Sandoval and she despises him. The divorce between Katie Maloney Schwartz and Tom Schwartz. That I feel like is a divorce or a separation that everybody saw coming since before they even got married. But we finally are here over 12 years later. So it still feels a little bit surreal that this is happening. Hi, Culpatrice. Watching from Dayton, Ohio. Really do not watch. Oh, you don't watch Vanderpump Rules? Listen, I'm telling you, I took a couple of years off this show, but I'm back and it is looking good. It's only one episode so far. So they could be lying to us in the trailer, false advertising, but so far it's looking juicy. I hope after this recap, you perhaps take a look at it, take a peek at it and see how it goes. So in speaking about the divorce that is announced between Tom Schwartz and Katie Maloney Schwartz, they mentioned some of the rules that they have for their separation. Actually, not some of the rules, only one rule that they have. And the one singular rule articulated was that they're not allowed to hook up with anybody in their friend group. I personally think that it is a pretty reasonable expectation, but Tom Schwartz doesn't seem to, because all the girls in Hollywood and he ends up hooking up with Raquel within their friend group. Listen, guys, I have a question. Well, I've got a couple of questions. First of all, do you think that their separation is realistic? You know what I mean? Like, I kind of felt as though they are not allowing themselves to make a clean break, to cut ties. I know it's complicated with the dogs. I know it's complicated because they're in the same friend group, but I still feel as though they're doing too much. You know, they talk about having their friendship dates, going out as friends. You don't need to do all that. Like, hang out as groups and then exchange the stuff with the dogs, but they don't need to be trying so hard to force a friendship, right? Like, when you have 12 years of romantic history with somebody, it's really, really difficult, almost impossible to do the whole friend thing. Sometimes you might even need some time in between the two, which is fine. But it seems like they want to jump from marriage into best friendship. And I don't think that's healthy personally. But I would love to know what some of you guys think in the live chat. Or if you're watching this on the replay, let me know in the comment section, okay? Hey, Chevy, it's so nice to have you here. Hi, Steph. I think I saw you in the RHOP recaps we do on Monday with Kempire and Layla. Nice to have you. I think the rule is reasonable, but Katie never liked Raquel and was always mean to her. You know, one thing about Katie is that she is mean to every girl. Like, she really likes to haze people. She's almost kind of like Giselle from Housewives of Potomac. Like, she starts off quite negative with women and then eventually tries to warm up to them. It's kind of like her relationship with Lala Kent. She was really mean and really like slut shamey of Lala, and now she really likes her ever since Lala like hooked her up with private plane rides when she was with Randall Emmett. Carrie says, when you separate, you need some time to heal. Yes, before you can work on being friends. Exactly. They're rushing to the friendship too quickly. It needs to be organic. right? Like they need time for the emotions and the feelings to dissipate. I can imagine trying to be BFF with somebody that I spent 12 years romantically involved with. You know, it's hard enough with after a couple of years, like 3-4 years, but 12 years, come on now. Hi, Alexis. It's nice to have you here. Alexis is watching us from TikTok. Like I mentioned a little bit earlier, I'm also live on my TikTok page. So you guys, I did ask a little bit earlier, but I'm seeing more of you are coming in. What did you think of the episode overall? Do you think you're going to be sticking around for the entire season? Or do you think that you just just tune in for the debut episode to see what it's all about, but you don't think it's worth it? I'm kind of curious because people did give up on VPR for a bit. I want to say that this is the season where Jax and Lala lost their parents and became really like, they were taking out the pain on all of their co-stars, and they were all ganging up on James Kennedy. I remember watching a couple minutes of that reunion and turning it off because I was so overwhelmed by the negativity and the hateful energy that they had towards him. You know, it was a lot. It was a huge gang up. So Chevy says, it's like watching a whole new show, but with same characters. Everyone's storyline is so different from last season. Yep. And they are all nipped and tucked to perfection. I said earlier, but Lala has never looked better. She looked so good. Ariana as well. She looked incredible. A lot of them are just looking really good. They're looking rich, you know, like they're looking rich. They look good. It's not cut at all. Oh no. Hey Shay, I have a love-hate relationship with Katie. It's inappropriate for Tom and Raquel to hook up so soon post-separation, but separate Katie can be a nightmare sometimes. Yeah, she seems quite controlling in my opinion. I knew it, Steph. I recognize your beautiful curls. Hi Amanda. I was surprised seeing Raquel and Pete. Well, that's the thing I want to get into with you guys. Pete, in my opinion, is someone who seems to really enjoy getting around within the restaurant. Like as a manager of the restaurant, I find it to be inappropriate. Like when Jax was doing it as just, you know, a bartender, fine. A bartender who steals like the glasses and the dishes and the forks and the whatever. If he's hooking up with people, fine. But you as a manager, like hooking up with all these people, I believe he hooked up with Stassi. I know for sure he hooked up with Katie. Then we've got Raquel now, but there's another 2 girls who I'm forgetting their names in there as well. I believe it was a lot. You know, I'm kind of disappointed because I like Peter and I think you can hook up with however many people you want in life. But when you're constantly doing that in the workplace and then you hold a position of power over these people, I don't love that. I don't love it. Okay. Oh, you're a diehard VPR fan, Steph. Oh my God, I had no idea. Yes. I'm so excited to see you on these lives then as we do them. I want to do them same time every single week. Okay. And see, it seems like you guys are all on the same page here about them needing time to grieve their marriage before trying to be best friends, because that is an awful lot of confusion and just bottled up, suppressed emotion that hasn't had time to kind of like flow out of the body yet. So it's a lot. They really, truly do need to give themselves some time. I think they're setting themselves up for failure. They're setting themselves up to be enemies by just forcing something so quickly that is simply not possible on that like timeline. But I will say though that the level of disrespect that Tom has shown Katie now through their divorce is insane. The one rule they had, hook up with anybody, just don't hook up with people we both mutually know. And he spits in her face and does it with Raquel. Like, but at the same time, he was just as disrespectful to her before they got married, right? This is the guy who said he hated the sound of her voice, who poured alcohol on her, who cheated on her repeatedly. He cheated on her repeatedly after they got married too. Like, he's just a disrespectful, rude, nasty person who gets to hide it very well behind his like cheerful, dopey disposition, you know? So I feel like he's like the undercover villain of the show. Yeah. Okay, Rosaria, you are in the absolute same boat as me. Okay, there you go. Chevy and I, so yeah, we're pretty much 99% sure that Pete has hooked up with Stassi as well. So he really likes to hook up with subordinates in the restaurant, and I don't love it. You know, one thing that was quite fascinating to me is that you guys know how, oh my, do you guys know how Sandoval is usually the one who's more responsible between himself and Schwartz? Well, it turns out that for 3 months, he was just so passionately into his band that, hang on you guys a second. Alexis, I'm doing a YouTube I'm doing a YouTube live stream. Oh Lord. So so Sandoval has always been super responsible, and it's Schwartz who's always been like very, very clueless. But this time it's actually Schwartz who says, listen, I had to rein in Tom Sandoval because for 3 months he was touring with his band and they were doing very well. They were having a lot of fun, but he forgot about the restaurant that we're supposed to be putting in work together on. And we were losing so much money. And I told him, listen, Sandoval, I need you to focus on this because we're almost like we're bleeding dry. I forgot what his exact word is, but like they're losing everything if he doesn't get his butt back in that bar to put in work, which is wild to me. How do you take 3 months off to go touring and do all this other stuff, but your bar is not done? How, like, that is so unsandoval of him. It makes you wonder if he was running away from something. Do you know what I mean? Like, it kind of felt as though maybe he's got something going on in his personal life that he felt like music was going to help him escape from. You guys let me know. I did remember from the previews and the internet, of course, there being a lot of rumors about his relationship with Ariana, whether it is like an open relationship, whether he's cheating on her, whether some, she cheated on him allegedly or whatever. She hooked up with Lala in the backseat of the car and stuff. There's something off there about this relationship, and I wonder if he's channeling his energy into being away from home for 3 months at a time for that reason. But I might be speculating a bit too much. I might be reaching. Am I reaching, you guys? Am I reaching? Please let me know in the chat, or if you're watching this a little bit later, let me know in the comments section, okay? And if you're enjoying this stream, please do make sure to give it a thumbs up so that you, get it boosted the next time that I do it. I will be doing another stream, same time next week, okay? Carrie says, okay, there's always been a rule that you do not hook up between management and employee, right? So I really actually would like for this to be addressed because I do think that it's a bad look, not only for Peter, but for Lisa and what's that husband's name? The one who walks around with the dog. What's his name? And the dog's name's Jiggy, but what's the husband's name? What's the husband's name? Ken. Yes, it's a bad look for Lisa and Ken that they allow this to go on in their restaurant, but I digress. Tom is not an angel. He needed to just really grow up. I feel like he tried to put effort in with defending Katie to Tom Sandoval. I know they had a little beef to show he's a supporter. Yeah, exactly. Like he put minimal effort in, but like for him, that's a lot because he usually would allow anybody, especially Sandoval, to just talk about her like she is a dirty dog in an alleyway or something like that. Like I used to be like stunned, like, oh my God, don't let my man, have his friends talking about me like this. This is horrible. And not only that, but Tom used to speak about her like that too. It was, oof. I don't know how she hung in there for so long. Do you guys ever wonder, like when you see some relationships, maybe in your own lives, your friends or your relatives have these relationships that are just so awful, like they're being treated so badly. And you're like, how do you hang in there? Like, do you need help? Like, what do I do? Is it my place to be like, girl, like this ain't it? Like, you don't deserve to be treated like, you know what I mean? But those people are typically really defensive and they'll cut friends off who speak up. So it's a very delicate situation, right? Hi, KS. It's your first live. I love it. I love it. Please do give it a try. I was like you. I stopped at KS for a bit, but I'm back. I am back and it looks good. Schwartz is no angel. He's had his demons and acted like an ass in the past as well. And you should just grow up, especially when you turn into a husband. It's such a shame that did not happen for him, right? Like, and she hung in there. She put in years of marriage. What, at least 5-6 years of marriage to him? It's disappointing. I don't think so either, Rosario. And I'm really curious to see if he's going to open up because I feel like we don't really know the heart of who he is. You know what I mean? Like he seems like a good friend and a really sensitive, caring, loving person, but I feel like I don't know the root of who he is. I would love to see him more vulnerable on the show. Shannon Ben is here. I thought about you this morning, Shan. So it's so awesome to see you in the stream. Yes, I absolutely am back to VPR. This season is looking so good. It really is. So I'm dying to see the whole season play out. Steph says, thank you so much for the super chat. You know what? I've upgraded, okay? I've got an audio for this. Thank you so much for the super chat, Steph. Boom, there we go. Stephanie says, do I have to stop it? This is my first time using it, y'all. Sorry about that. What's crazy about Schwartz realizing that Sandoval wasn't being present is that was Katie's complaint in their marriage, but he couldn't see it. You know what, Stephanie? I always said, okay, and if you go back to my old videos from like the season 4 or 5 of Vanderpump when I used to recap it. I think those men are secretly in love with each other. Like they are just so attuned to one another. They are so like Tom Schwartz has always been more emotionally invested in Tom Sandoval than he has been in Katie. Okay. So that does not surprise me at all. He's just like that. And you know what? It kind of reminds me of an ex I had. Like he was the type who would not plan like things. Like he would not plan to get me something for my birthday. He would get me something, but he would be like, tell me what you want and I'll buy it. You know what I mean? But he wouldn't like put thought into it. But when it came to his father, who he hated, he would plan well in advance and find something. When it came to his friends, he would plan well in advance and find something. But when it came to me, it'd be like, oh, well, what do you want? Give me a list and I'll pick something from your list. You know what I mean? Like that. I don't know what it is. I don't know if you guys have dealt with men like this, but there's just something that I hate. I really don't like it. Like sometimes they're just so thoughtful to everyone but you. And you're like, what? Are you kidding me? I don't like that. It sucks. I feel really bad for Katie. It is a very lonely feeling. And it's something that like causes you to harbor a lot of resentment as well, because you're like, really? I feel like you should know your partner more than you know other people because you spend 24/7 with them. You know, you're living with them. You're doing so much, right? You're meeting all their family. Like, I don't know. Thanks, guys. Yeah, that's Ken. You know, it's just not a good look on him and Lisa. I think he thought Sandoval and Katie had their beef. That's what he was trying to be. Switzerland. It doesn't work. You can't be Switzerland when someone is literally speaking about your wife like she is dirt at the bottom of his shoe. So now I do have a question to ask you. Remember how I said that I didn't really approve of Peter sleeping around the Vanderpump restaurants? Well, it seems like that's something Raquel is interested in doing as well. I want to know how you guys feel about it. I feel differently about it because she's going through a heartbreak, and sometimes heartbreak births a whole phase. Okay. So that's one excuse I'll give her. And number two, she's not a superior to these people, right? So I think that it's a little bit better, but she's going through them in a lot shorter of a time than Peter is. So it really seems as though she's trying to numb the pain with like romantic or actual relationships. And that does make me worry for her because she seems to be a very fragile person. Not an emotionally fragile person, but just a fragile person in general, you know? So yeah, I do worry for her a little bit, but at the same time, I kind of can see, you know, why she's going buck wild after all she put up with, you know, when it comes to James Kennedy, just for him to replace her. And to her face, you guys remember that a little bit later on in the episode when they're meeting by the bathrooms and he tells Raquel to her face that this new girl he's been with for a couple of months and he's already living with her, Allie, is the love of his life. Oh my God, that had to have hurt. But by the way, he was not convincing me. I don't know if he was convincing you guys, but that man was not convincing me. That he doesn't feel that way. He's heartbroken and he's trying to get under Raquel's skin, just like Raquel is trying to get under his skin. Okay, that's just the way the game rolls, right? Chevy says, well, in the preview for the upcoming episode, it says that Tom and Ariana have an open road. Well, it doesn't confirm it yet, but it does say that someone told her, Katie told this person, who was it, Lala, who tells that to him, that they have an open relationship. So we will find out a little bit later on whether or not that is actually true, which I am counting on yes. Remember, Ariana already hooked up with Lala in front of Tom when she was going through her dry spell with Tom. She was refusing to sleep with him, and Tom, he had Miami girl, and Ariana seems cool with it. Both of them are also hooked up behind Kristen's back. It just seems like a relationship kind of void of a moral compass, in my opinion. But I digress, right? Maybe I'm a little dramatic, but to me, with all these kind of situations going on, it seems a little bit like off. Thanks, Shan. Yes, again, guys, if you're enjoying the stream, please do make sure to give it a thumbs up. That's definitely going to help me continue to pop up in your algorithm. Priscilla, it's called denial. Absolutely. And it's disappointing to see someone so deep in the denial. Carrie says, I think Katie really didn't want everyone to be right about her and Tom. That's why she got so defensive every time someone brought something up. Oh, that sucks. Throwing away all these years of your life, especially as a woman who wants to have kids one day because you want to prove people wrong. Ladies, don't do that. It's not a smart thing to do. Time is of the essence. It truly, truly, truly is. Shay says, but yes, Grace, both of the Toms said that they mortgaged their houses for an investment for the restaurant, nearly $300,000 to $400,000. So I can imagine Schwartz's anger towards Sandoval. I remember them getting the checks and everything and like talking about it on the show. So it's wild that Tom would go from that to the investment in the band while the money in the restaurant just continues to sink and sink and sink. Tour with the band when your restaurant is up and running, when you're making money, when everybody is trained, all that stuff, you guys. Come on. Shan, one thing I remember, and that's what I was thinking about with you actually, because I was thinking when Tom Sandoval was calling Lala out for her fake like shock and outrage over, let me put up a picture of her. Remember she was like, oh my God, the LA Times just wrote this expose about Rand and he apparently does this casting couch thing and he exploits young actresses. I'm shocked. I never would have imagined that. I can't believe it. Sandoval's like, girl, stop. You came up on this show. Okay. Oh, well, here it is. Hearing him bash, I don't think he was bashing her. I felt like he was calling her out for pretending to not know what was going on, because it is true. I felt like she was being manipulative there, like she knew what was going on and she participated in it and she bragged about it on the show. She was like, when I met Lala, what happened? When I met Rand, what happened? I was working at Sir as a hostess, and then he gets an assistant to come, ask me if I'm an actress, and then basically I banged for a role or whatever, and then he gave me a used car from the last mistress before me, and we like to role play. Here's the thing, the role play thing, whatever, right? Like it doesn't mean that he's a predator or anything like that. It's just something they like to enjoy in the bedroom when she's eating his booty. That doesn't, but it just kind of adds to the whole, like, it's not exactly a shock. That this is a kink for him. And, that he got you a role in his movie that way by you sleeping with him. So, I don't know. I'm a Tom apologist, Shan. I'm sorry. Tom didn't want to be married at all. I agree. Listen, it took Katie a lot of begging, a lot of ultimatums, and a lot of prodding to get him married. You know what I mean? And I don't know why. Like, why do you want to be married to someone like that? Like if it's already difficult to be in a relationship with them, to get them to commit to something seriously, it's only going to be 10 times worse through marriage. That doesn't really change people like that. Girl, I am not fancy, Shan. Look at me wearing a sweater and having a blanket under me because I am refusing to participate in the price of energy. The price of energy is too high. They're trying to make me pay like for almost 500 euros a month if I use my damn heater. Oh my God, I'm still crying over the last bill I got. No respect, absolutely, in that situation. Tom wanted to give Katie what she wanted, but even through planning the wedding, he didn't want it. Yeah, he really betrayed himself there, honestly. But like, I remember like the brothers, when they were trying to bring the brothers over. Hi, Alice. Yes, it is live. I'm doing it on YouTube as well. Remember when they brought the brothers over to the marriage or the engagement party or the wedding? I don't know, but it was hard to wrangle them too. And they're 3 grown men. Like, I think there's something going on with them as brothers or something like that. I feel like there's something a little bit like, I don't know what it is, but there's something, yeah, like to me, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. They seem like to have issues being organized and being committed and adulting almost. Not that marriage is adulting, but like, you know what I mean? Like having responsibility. There's something off about that. Exactly. Perfect escape. He wasn't the one for you. Yup. Like, no, you can't put all this effort into everybody but me. That doesn't work for me. Yup. Absolutely. And the sad part is men are not even really emotionally there for one another, in my opinion, right? They're always complaining that they have no one to vent to, no one to cry to, no one to hug them, because their relationships and stuff are kind of like a little superficial. They like to play video games together. At least my ex did. That's what he did all day. Another reason I was too much video games, and that's such a turn off to me. Raquel deserves a medal for dating James as long as she did, lol. I would have ran screaming. Yeah, you're telling me I would not have lasted a minute with someone like that. Like that's what I wonder when it comes to certain people. Like, how do they put up with so much stuff and for so long? My max of putting up with BS or like a relationship where you're just like, oh, I feel like I'm sad more often than I'm happy, or frustrated more often than I feel like happy and like carefree and whatever. My max is like a couple of months and then I'm done. I can't do it. But some people will stick with that for years, and it's incredible to me. I wonder what the motivation is. Lala and James talking. Oh yeah, Amanda, let's get into that. It seems to me like Lala still has it out for Raquel. Why do you guys think that is? Because she, like you said, Amanda, she was very callous when she was revealing the fact that she and James were cheating on their respective partners. So Randall and Raquel, at the beginning of their relationship, she's like, oh, we definitely, and she said that completely unprompted. So you're right, Chan. She was young when she got with Rand. Yeah, I can agree with that for sure. So why would she say that? James looked extremely like pissed off that she blew up his spot. He did not want that out there. And I imagine that it's because he knew that Raquel would chew his ear off when she saw that on the show. And I imagine that she did text him or she did call him to like curse his ass out or something like that over that, because that is incredibly upsetting, because she did have suspicions about it, if I'm remembering correctly, how the relationship played out at the beginning of the season. And of course, similar to the way Tom gaslit Kristen, he would gaslight her about it and deny cheating, even though he cheated with a reported 3 women. But now when you add, and they showed the 3 women, right, on the episode, but when you add Lala into it, that makes 4. So it sucks, honestly, the amount of BS that Raquel dealt with in that. But I'm going to say something, and you guys might get upset with me, but that's a risk I have to take for being honest. I like to be honest when I recap things, even if sometimes my opinions are a little upsetting. But I always felt as though Raquel put up with James in order to have a spot on the show and to truly secure a spot on the show. Okay. And I felt the same way about Brittany and what's the other one? The one with the roid rage and the nose jobs. He has like 4 of them. You can help me if you want. Jax. I felt the same way about Brittany too. I feel like sometimes these girls, they like to play a little dumb so that they can keep the thing rolling, right? Keep the money train rolling, keep the TV train rolling and whatnot, because, a lot of people are like that, right? A lot of people want to be famous. A lot of people want to have a lot of money, and a lot of people are willing to do a lot of things to have all of that. So that's how I feel about Raquel, or how I felt about her with James, and how I feel about Brittany, or felt about Brittany. But now Brittany is like really locked in, right? Marriage and the kid and whatnot. So Bailey says Lala's shock is just as real as Kendra's shock about not knowing Maida being with Jock on Love and Hip Hop. Oh my God, what is going on Love and Hip Hop? It's been years since I watched that one. But listen, I'm going to take your word for it, Bailey. Because it seems like you're on the same end here, that it seems really fake. It's fake. She knew what was up about him. She knew who that man was, and she experienced who that man was as well, right? Lala is jealous. That's what I kind of feel about it. Oh, James said it too. That's how I feel about it. Like there's something really like hateful for no reason, because Raquel has never hi JP. Raquel has never done anything to Lala to deserve to be treated the way that Lala treats her. And I don't know why Lala is jealous of Raquel. Like they're both beautiful young women, just trying to like live their lives. So I truly don't understand. What is it, because of the James thing? Does Lala kind of wish that she could get into a serious relationship with James? But honestly, that would be the ultimate train wreck, right? Because they're both people who are dealing with their own sobriety journeys. Lala is a lot more consistent with it. She still is sober. So I feel like James would be a bad match for her anyway. So if that's what it is, I wonder. So do you guys think that they ever wanted to kind of get together and then that didn't work out? Because kind of, to me, when James was talking about it's not about the pasta, it kind of felt like he wanted to be with her and he was upset that she was chasing money more so than the passion and the love that they had for one another. And I agree with you, Steph. That's why I did not feel bad for her when Rand cheated on her. What goes around always comes around. When you are the mistress, when you are the side chick or the side dude, because sometimes girls are cheating out here, and you get together with the person, you left your old job vacant. And what happens when a job is vacant? It gets put up on Indeed, and people audition for the job, and then they get it. Someone gets that job. So that's what happens. I can't cry for you, when that's what you do to other people. I love Lala, but she can be queen petty. Yeah, I feel like she's very aggressive. So why don't we get into the conversation that she has a little bit later on in the episode? And we're going to jump around here because we're going based on the conversation here in the chat, like I'm letting you guys guide the recap and the conversation, which is really fun. Yeah, like Lala can be very aggressive in the way that she speaks to people. Like I wrote a list of things that I would like to describe her as. So please do give me a moment here, you guys. I did say that I was very proud of Tom for standing up for himself in that conversation with Lala, where she crapped on his marriage. She said, "You know what? Like, I am so pissed that you would hang out with my ex after I had that summit." First of all, like, how egotistical are you to hold a summit to tell your friends, "Oh, if you talk to my ex who you became friends with, you're out of my life. I don't want weak people." Well, what does that have to do with weakness? Like, I just like this guy and I like pickleball. You know what I mean? Like, you can ask people nicely and then you see the way that they value you in regards to how they respond to that. Do they honor it or not? But she's very aggressive in her delivery, and I find that quite off-putting. And then Schwartz, of course, he goes ahead and he plays pickleball with Rand, and Lala sends him a vicious text and where she basically says, "You know what? How could I have expected you to be loyal to me or whatever?" What was it that she said? Like, you account for my feelings or whatever, to be solid for me, ride for me when you couldn't even ride for your own wife. Listen, she kind of ate a little bit, I fear. She kind of did, because she was right. That was the problem within the marriage between Tom Schwartz and Katie Maloney Schwartz. The problem was that Tom was never riding for his wife. He always left her out there stranded, fighting for herself while people talk crap about her, people treated her poorly, and she needed his support. So I get that. But yeah, it's still very aggressive because, again, what she's got going on with Rand, it sucks. It's horrible. But at the same time, he had his own relationship with Rand. I would be upset for sure. I would cut a friend out for sure if they stayed, like, for example, when I had that similar situation when I was with someone for a couple of years and they wound up cheating on me. My friends were loyal. They were like, "F you," blah, like they cursed his ass out, blah, blah, blah. But if they stayed friends with this person, I would just simply not speak to them anymore. I would ghost. I would go silent. I wouldn't be like all aggressive the way that Lala is. JP says that they can't stand Lala after the way she treated Faith. Oh yeah, they were all so gross in their treatment of Faith. So Tom Sandoval really stands up for himself. He calls Lala out for kind of dragging him about his marriage as well. That comment about, like, you couldn't even stand up for your own life, so why did I expect you to stand up for me? And Lala says that she doesn't apologize for that. However, she does apologize for the timing. Again, she's very, my list. I wanted to tell you, she's very mean. This is how she comes across. Maybe she's not this way in life, but this is how she comes across to me. Let me know if you agree, by the way, in the chat or in the comments if you're watching this later. But Lala comes off to me as someone who's very mean, controlling, and self-centered. And like Schwartz said, I'm going to add that from his description, very egotistical. Like, she really feels like she runs people. And I don't like that. I really don't like that. Okay. It's, I'm not a fan. Salut, Gabrielle. So nice to have you here. Sorry, you're in the subway. Okay. Well, I hope you have a happy commute. Okay, so maybe that's it. Raquel is a happier person, and sometimes happiness in you angers other people because they don't have that in themselves. I could definitely see that with Lala. I don't see her as a happy person, really. I see her as an empty person who is after material things and outward reflections of success and happiness and joy, but can't find it within herself. You know what I mean? So yeah. That's very disappointing. And we're seeing, you guys are really going down the list here. Okay. We're also getting Raquel is more poised than Lala is. Lala is jealous of Raquel, has to do with James 1,000%. They were close. He got with Raquel, and that shifted because she chose Randall. I can see that. I feel like she really, really wanted to be back with James, but I'm surprised that James forgave her after the way she treated him that season. I don't know what the number is, but it's the season where her dad dies and she just leads like a very nasty, like, pylon against James. She teams up with Jackson. That the reunion was so hard to watch. Like, I mentioned it earlier, but I turned it off after like a couple of minutes. I didn't finish the first episode because they were so aggressive and so mean to that guy. Is James perfect? No. Is he even a good person? I'm not sure. I'm debating that, right? So I'm not like a James fan or anything like that, but the way they treated him was really reprehensible and it was very mean. It was more the image of what trope of woman they had. I can see that as well. Yes, I am cool, Patrice. I absolutely am. I am the judge and the jury of the Grace Report. Hey, Jazz. Nice to see you here. That lipstick looks really good on you, by the way. That goes perfectly with your skin tone. Lala, see, that's the thing. She's very aggressive. It feels like she demands things from people and she doesn't hold space for conversation, because if she had at least a little bit of space for Tom, maybe Tom could have explained why. Tom's thing as well is that, listen, I played pickleball with this man like 7 months later. It's not like this is someone I talk to 24/7. So I didn't see it that way. Like, people are all different in the way that they see what loyalty is or what this is or what that is. That's a lesson that I had to learn. Sometimes you do things innocently, but other people are very sensitive, or they've got their own triggers surrounding X, Y, or Z. And so they go to the extreme, right? In terms of their inception of what it is that you did. So like, it's best just to like not assume the worst in people, especially when you're considering the people to be friends. She was in street. Yeah, oh God. I remember when she was saying that she was the reincarnation of Tupac. Oh Lord. Lala's such a hypocrite. When she's asking for loyalty from Tom and Schwartz, she turned on Ariana and Sandoval as soon as she got into the Stassi clique. Oh yeah, she was really mean to Ariana for sure. Thanks for reminding me of that. I remember they played some of the clips back over in like this episode as well, of how she was really mean to her own friend Ariana, which is crazy because Ariana is the reason why she survived this long in the show. Do you guys remember when everybody on the show hated Lala because she was out there bragging about hooking up with Jax when he was starting to date Brittany, and then bragging about like basically low-key being, I don't want to say she was being an escort, but she was trying to make it seem like she was being an escort, at least, you know, with some of the stuff she was saying. They used to slut shame her so much, and Ariana would consistently stand up for her. And that's the only reason she survived in this group. So I'm quite surprised to see the way that she has kind of like turned her back on Ariana again after getting into the clique and the girls who bullied her the most. Oh, okay. So it really seems like Lala is not you guys' favorite. You know, can I ask you guys who your favorite person is on the show? I want to know based on all the personalities that you have. I know Shannon Bannon, she's still here. She's going to kill me, but I love Tom Sandoval. I am obsessed with him. I think I like him a lot. I will say that, okay? And he's so hot. How hot was he this episode, you guys? He was so hot. Oh, hey, Brycey. I've been watching the show on and off for years. Lala's been acting this way the whole time. James moved on real quick from Raquel. Yeah, Lala's always been very aggressive and just kind of like wannabe-ish, like wannabe top dog-ish. And it got so bad when she got with Rand. She, like, you're gonna see Tom tell her later on in the season, she acted like she was on Lisa's level, like she's a Real Housewife of Beverly Hills, you know, like she's very much spoiled and used to getting her own way, and that, I think that influences her aggressive disposition towards people. Yeah, she was in grief and everything, and it was so harsh though to James in particular. Like they would purposely misconstrue things James said or misrepresent even to go in on him. Like it felt like he was their target. It was really hard. Lala is afraid to be one. Yeah, I think so too. You know, I liked her first season. I was like, who is this beautiful girl? She's always had like the most beautiful big eyes to me, and these beautiful like arched expressive eyebrows. And I keep telling you guys, she was so beautiful in this episode. She did go through a phase when she was doing too much, right, with her face, and like she started looking like 50 years old, even like 45, 50 at her young, tender age. But it all came together again. I'm so happy. I'm like, please, 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 please. Like, she looks so good. Don't do anything else, Lala. You're such a beautiful girl, okay? She's a hypocrite. It's okay for her to treat others terribly, but she attracts. Yeah, she's so sensitive when anyone gives her even a hint of her own medicine. Hi, Lindsay. There's a lady I work with who always assumes for the worst. It has to be hard, right? To always be so reactive and on the defensive. I don't know why some people are like that. I realize that's because the way her mind is, she always thinks I'm doing something sneaky, which I'm not. I don't really like doing things like that, but she always accuses me. But I realize it's because that's the way she is. So I don't take what she accuses me personal because I know it's projection. Yes. You know, it's funny you say that because I was having the exact same conversation with a friend of mine. I was like, you know, there's someone in our circle who's kind of like this. Like she always sees everything like for the worst. And she's just so, you know, it's a lot. It truly, truly is a lot. It's like, how do we, you know, teach her to trust people and this and that. So you guys' favorites are being listed now. So Gabby says Ariana. Shreen says Tom Sandy. Amanda's Team Sandy as well. Sheena is comedic gold. That is one thing I could tell you guys, right? She is so funny. I love her. And she's another really gorgeous one for sure. She also, I think I like really big eyes on people. Like she has such big Bambi eyes. Lala can speak the truth and say things how it is, but she's very violent with her words. She says a lot of low blow comments, and it's very unhealthy on how to handle conflict. I absolutely agree. She needs to put that in check. She truly does, because it's going to cost her. Another Sheena fan here. It's going to cost her all of her friendships if she doesn't get it together. Brittany, she's actually the sweetest. Ariana too. Ariana's such a cutie. I like Ariana, and I root for Raquel. I can see that. So look, okay. You know, that's one thing I like about Vanderpump Rules is I feel like the people are generally likable. I'm going to say something though, and I hope you guys don't come for me, but with the exception of Katie, I don't like Katie. Okay, let me put up a cast photo. Is Katie in this cast photo, y'all? Katie, I consider to be a really mean, a really bitter, and a really miserable person. That's the one person, well, outside of Stassi. Stassi's another one that I don't really care for, but she used to be so funny, right? Before all the stuff came out about her. But Katie, to me, has no redeemable qualities, except maybe her hair. Her hair looks so good, right? In that episode, so luscious, so thick. I'm jealous of that. And I'm jealous of her brows too, so thick. Liking Schwartz this season, he's sticking up more for himself. Yeah, he seems to really like have grown a little bit. So I hope he continues on this trip. Well, no, I'm not going to like him, makeup. You know why? He's hooking up with Raquel. And that was a rule in the separation from Katie, that he couldn't hook up with people from the friend group. No, they're not working at Sir. The Toms have their bar. Ariana and Katie are about to open their sandwich shop. And Raquel is kind of just like a socialite of it. So these guys are kind of just floating around, visiting the restaurants and showing us their lives, not working there. Don't you worry at all. She doesn't get good harmony on her powerful women and vulnerable. I could see that. And I did see when they sent Lala and Katie to Real Housewives of Salt Lake City a little bit. I thought that was a pretty cute mix. I would love to see them over there as well. I like them too, Jasmine, but my thing is I don't like their relationship. I'm actually quite surprised that they've been in it as long as they have, because it seems like, to me, it seems like a road to nowhere, but maybe I'm way off on that, you know? So you guys, I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but I'm going to pull up the picture again. Well, before I even ask the question, and the question was going to be, did you believe James when he told his ex-fiance, his ex of only a couple of months, that his new girlfriend of only a couple of months, that he met right after their breakup, was the love of his life? Hey, Cece, do you believe that, you guys? Or do you think that he's just trying to get under her skin and convince himself as well? Because for as much as he talks about loving this near perfect stranger, he doesn't really list the qualities of her that he actually does love. So I want to know, and I hope that these qualities don't revolve around what she does for him personally. You know what I mean? Also, my next, oh, damn it. Did I forget my next question already? Where was I? Hang on, let me pull this up. So you guys, I got so much going on in my head. I have a friend who's staying here. Well, she stayed here last night, and she still has her stuff in my apartment. She's coming back real soon to pick them up. So I'm like, oh my God, Grace, let's get it going. Yeah. So, and do you guys think that James has an inability to live alone? Like, oh, this was my second question. Lala. So she seems to be nice to James's new girlfriend, Allie, to her face. But she's also kind of weird. She's giving me like hater vibes too. So they're sitting down. This is the scene. They're sitting down at the table at the hotel that James is DJing at. And then Lala tells his new girlfriend, Allie, well, first of all, she asks her, have you ever gotten any like injectables or anything like this? And then the girl says no. And then Lala says, oh, well, you know, you don't even need to. You already have nice and full lips. Okay. So this is the girl in the photo. Listen, when her lips are at rest, they look like, you know, full, you know, she's not working with all this, but full lips. Okay. It's just, you would think not if you didn't watch the episode from this photo, because sometimes when people smile, it gets thinner, but she does. I would say she has full lips. And I thought, okay, this is nice. It seems like she wants to be friends with James's new girlfriend, right? No, wrong. Because what does Lala do? In her confessional, she goes and says, James loves himself a lipless bitch. Raquel, I was lipless when I was with him, and now Allie. How mean is that, you guys? Like, how mean? That is so mean. Aren't a lot of girls insecure about like their lip size, right? And then to compliment someone and then turn around and like diss the very thing you complimented them on, that to me was very gross. I was like, that is gross behavior. That is very weird. What was the point of even making a comment in the first place? I felt like she was going back into like her mean self, which did she ever leave it? Not really. Stinson, it's been a while since we've spoken. Hi. Oh my God, I hope you're doing well. I'm glad you're breaking this. Okay, you're still watching. Let me know what you think of it after too. And let me know next week's episode as well. I hope to see you here again. Connor, no, I'm not jealous of her hair. No, but thank you. No. I think oh yes, that is true. I am. I did just say that. Yeah. Because you know what? The volume she had, and it's so black. It's so jet black. It's so shiny. And her eyebrow hair. Oh, you know my eyebrows. I draw these on. Okay. Mine are usually like sparse and just like not doing nothing. And hers are just so naturally dark, so naturally full. I love that. I love that. I love that. But I would still rather my own. Okay. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's like Sandoval is low key giving up his dream to dip and become a dad. Yeah, see, that's the thing. That's a big reason why I don't really care for this relationship, because I feel like they're giving up too much. She's scared of the birthing process. Understandable, just sucks. And I think she doesn't really want to take part in raising a child either. You know, I feel like you guys, your wants are so different. And they're at a certain age, right? They're people of a particular age, right? Tom is over 40 years old. Ariana, I'm not sure. What is she, like 36 or something like that, at least? So that's fine on her end because she doesn't want this. But Tom, like, you're already 40. I know they like to tell men that they can have kids forever, but it's not true. Like, they have fertility issues as well once they pass a certain age. I think like after 35, it starts to kind of decrease in terms of volume, and then like past 40, it decreases in terms of quality, and whatnot. Like, it gets harder and harder as they age as well, you know? So it's like, Tom, if this is really something you want, maybe this is not the right relationship for you, right? So, and I love Tom Sandoval, right? So I really do want him to have what it is that he wants. So it sucks that he's giving that up. But for what? Like, he's a cute, emotionally intelligent, successful guy. Like, he will be just fine. And Ariana too. She'll find someone who wants to be child free with her, you know? Right. Like, Lala, it felt like she was so unnecessarily mean. And Ali is a cute girl, and she seems to be a really nice girl. You guys saw how well she got along with Raquel as well, right? Like, Raquel and her had a really nice conversation at the hotel pool. Like, Raquel reached out to her. She was trying to like tell her, listen, like, I just want to let you know I'm harboring no bad blood. I just want to make sure that James is good because we had a relationship, this, that, and the other, you know? And Ali was very receptive to it. She was not at all cold. Like, I like Ali, and I feel bad for her that she had to watch that on TV. And I hope that she doesn't start injecting her lips because Lala did that to her and said that about her on TV. Like, I don't understand. Like, what is the point of that? Why would she do that? Why would she say that? And I totally agree with you, Jasmine, that James needs time alone to explore why he's so afraid of being alone, because he is. Who was his first relationship on the show? Kristen. What were they doing? Playing house, living together. Then he jumps into Raquel immediately, playing house, living together. Now, where is he? Same thing, playing house, living together with Ali. You know, I also don't understand how he finds so many women willing to put up with him. And it's not only for a couple of months, but they are putting up with him for the long haul, y'all. Like, these women are staying with this guy with his raging anger issues for years. What is the secret? How big is it? No, I didn't just say that, but seriously, what is the secret? He likes his girls natural. Lala went plastic and has his done with her actually. Yeah, maybe that's the thing, you know? And then he wasn't happy when Raquel started tinkering around with her nose either. See, Ariana's a good age to meet another guy in her age range or slightly older who doesn't want kids, you know? So she doesn't, you know what I mean, feel pressured or anything like that. I've watched VPR off and on over the years and have listened to the reviews. Watched last night and it was interesting. Would continue watching. Yes, Sonia, I hope I catch you again next week because it really is looking like it's shaping up to be a great season. Is there anything that we missed in this recap so far? I know that we have been skipping around a little bit, but we've been covering solid ground, you guys. I'm quite proud of us for this very unstructured live, still chugging along ahead perfectly. You're excited about that? I'm sad for it. Listen, I don't like Katie, but I'm a little scared to see her heartbreak unfold on TV. You know, it's just so sad to be so wildly betrayed by your ex-husband, of like such a recent ex-husband, and a friend, you know, like a what do you call that? A connaissance. What do you call that? You're someone that you know what I mean? Like, that you associate with, that you've experienced things with. It's really hurtful from both sides. So that definitely had to have been a traumatic point in her life. I wonder if we're going to see therapy episodes. Like, you know, I would love to see Katie and Tom in therapy talking about the breakdown of their marriage and how they're processing it. Katie also talking about this betrayal from Raquel and Schwartz. See, let me go back to you as well, Elle. Raquel doing this to Katie proves again to me what I said earlier, which is that she's kind of fake. I feel like she got with James to get on the show. And she's kind of conniving in a way. And this to me is another example of that she, you know, she plays nice and this and that, but and Schwartz does the same thing, but he's actually like a pretty like manipulative and mean person. You know, Raquel, I'm not going to say she's mean, but I will say she's conniving, and she's proving that with this, you know. And, you know, not only that, but what does she do? She's making out with Oliver, who's married. I don't know. It's not looking good. You know, something in the buttermilk ain't clean when it comes to Raquel. She's not as innocent as she wants you to believe. And hopefully she's not as dumb as she's been making herself appear on the show either. Hi, Naya. I think it's because his dad wasn't around. He's trying to find love in the wrong place. Taylor's oldest time. Oh, that's sad. You know, you rarely ever hear about men's daddy issues. So it is quite nice that we are at least getting that on the show. You know, it sucks that it's his lived experience, but it's being shown, it's being portrayed for other people to see what happens to men as well, who grew up without their fathers. Yeah, we went over Randall's scandal. So we talked about how it kind of is a little like eye-rolling inducing that Lala is acting like she's shocked by all of this when she she came on the show and confirmed it all herself, that like he met her, he offered her a role after they banged each other. And then like they like to role play about like desperate actresses who will like bang for movie roles and stuff like that. Like, yeah, it was a lot. Thank you, Amanda, for reminding me of that. So when Raquel and James's new girlfriend, Allie, are chatting together, a man comes by because it's a hotel. And so I guess they were on the patio of one of the hotel rooms. And so the guy, he comes in only his towel and he's like, hey, do you guys want something to drink? They're like, no. He's like, oh, well, and they basically tell him to back off. And he's like, yeah, well, you're in my backyard or whatever that is, my patio. And so Raquel gets up and says, I'm too tall for you anyway. I told you guys, like, she's got more to her that she wants you to believe. That was so quick-witted and fun. And that was one thing I never would have accused her of being earlier, right? What do you think about James's deciding to drink after being sober for 2.5 years? It's the beginning of the end, okay? I think he's going to spiral again. He cannot handle drinking. You know, he likes to think that he can do it a little bit here and there, but he cannot handle it. It's like me. I will give you an example, okay? I like to try to eat healthy. I eat low carbs. I eat mainly protein, not protein, but like vegetables. You guys, if you watch my videos on like food and stuff, I like to eat chickpeas. I like to eat hummus. I like to eat cucumber. You know what I mean? Like I like to eat like veggie protein. And so in my house, I don't keep snacks. I don't keep chips. I don't keep chocolate. I don't keep that. And so every time when I'm about to fall off the wagon, I go, oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to buy a big bag of chips. And then I'm only going to eat a little today and then a little bit on Friday you know what I mean? But you know what I end up doing? I eat the whole thing in 30 seconds or less because I have no control. That's how I feel about James with his drinking. He's an addict, so he's putting that energy into his new relationship and it isn't healthy. It's too much. And it's a huge responsibility for that girl that he barely knows. Thank you, Al. Acquaintance. Raquel was an acquaintance to Katie, and it's still gross as an acquaintance to do that to somebody. But that's the thing. James, I feel like there's a lot of pressure on his new girlfriend to be his everything because he's got all of these issues. You know what I mean? And yeah, and it's not just Allie. Raquel dealt with it too. Raquel was the one who had to keep him on the wagon, you guys, right? So it's too damn much. And his rage, oh my God. I still remember him spitting on the doorknob of Kristen's apartment when he left and stuff. It was just so gross. And you're absolutely right, Sonia. It is a hedonistic show. But that's what I like about it. The drama, the hookups and whatnot. I don't feel bad for Katie because Karma. What's the Karma PR? Spill the tea. Is it because she would treat Tom pretty poorly sometimes as well? Because it is true. Sometimes Katie was a little mean to Tom. I still remember her rage texting him because he did not give up his first class seat for her on the airplane. Do you guys remember that? How funny was that? Well, it's not funny. It was crazy, but what is it? You know, I think Ariana is openly bi already, but maybe it is true that she wants to now kind of have more relationship with women or something like that, because she did talk about how maybe I'm misremembering, but I do remember her saying that she was kind of grossed out by like penises and this and that she only wanted to have a hookup with a woman who was Lala and not a man who was her boyfriend Tom at some point and whatnot. Maybe she's leaning, you know, I don't know, maybe something's going on there, but either way, I like her and I like Tom, and I would like them even better separately. You know, Tom preferably with me, but no, I can't say that. I've got my French lover. I don't feel bad for Katie, and all these people do it for the cameras. Allie is with John. Yeah, here's the thing. Allie seems like a nice and innocent girl. Let me pull up her photo, but I don't think she's putting up with James for free. Hi, Sheena. Nice to see you. We're talking about Vanderpump Rules. I don't think she's putting up with James for free. I think she's putting up with him for this. You see this photo of the cast of Vanderpump Rules? She wants herself right up there. That's what it is, unfortunately, right? And I hate to accuse people of that, but listen, it's true more often than not. So I do feel comfortable saying that. Hi, original YouTube. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining us. The thing is, Sting B, he totally is, unfortunately. But we haven't seen anything about that in the trailer, have we? So maybe he does keep it together for at least this first this season 10, I'll say, right? I hope so, at least, because it was rough. Like when he falls off and he really spirals, it is absolutely rough. Connor says at their ages, I can't imagine having all this drama. It's one thing that's in your 20s, but my mid-30s, I was too tired for drama. I am telling you, I'm the exact same way. I feel like my fuse is getting shorter and shorter and shorter for BS, dramatic people and whatnot. I don't know how they do it. James's relationship with, absolutely, because you know what? Ali got the same man Raquel had. That's always the thing. That's always the best revenge. You know, when something happens with you and a guy, let's say the guy cheats on you or he replaces you really quickly and you feel bad, don't feel bad because that next chick is dealing with the exact same man you dealt with. Just remember the bad times and don't feel bad because listen, same man. She's got the same man. She's inheriting all the problems that you just freed yourself of. Thanks so much for the super chat. I don't know if it's a super sticker because StreamYard does not show us the stickers, unfortunately. But Sting B, thank you so much. I've got my new sound, so I get really excited whenever I get an opportunity to use that. Yeah, so Stinson will never forget that either when James spat on that door handle. So yeah, you guys, Lala is flirting hardcore with James. I'm kind of sad that James and Lala didn't just spend the season hooking up or like figuring out their relationship. You know, I feel like it would have been a lot more interesting than her trying to get like laid for the night and James being with Ali. Nothing against Ali, but you know, and the thing about Lala too, remember when they're at that hotel and what is she doing? Oh, that was nasty, Jasmine. Absolutely true. They were so toxic together. I felt like it was very weird at the hotel when Lala finds that guy hot, and he was hot. And so she basically, it sounded very transactional where she goes up to him and is like, oh, like, I basically want to bang you. And he's like, oh, you're just within my age range. Like, it just sounded gross, you know, like a slab of meat kind of thing. And I just really didn't like it. And I don't know if they actually did end up hooking up or anything like that. But, yeah, I don't know. Like, I get like the whole like you want to one night, but shouldn't it be fun? Shouldn't it be sexy? Shouldn't it be mysterious to know if you actually are going to end up hooking with this person or not? Like, it just seems really odd to me that the first conversation, the immediate conversation is, oh, so are you DTF? Like, what happened to hello? Hi, my name is, you know, like it just really dove straight for that, which was a bit wild. You know, another thing that was quite surprising to me was the lawsuits against Rand. So we did find out a little bit later that he was facing a couple million in lawsuits. Let me find the exact number, $25 million. I had no idea. That they amounted to this much, but that is how much he was facing. And so, honestly, I wonder sometimes if Lala regrets trying to use him for his money. Because let's face it, that's what she was doing, right? She wanted to use him for his money. And she wanted to become a famous actress. And at the end, what did she leave with? A broken engagement. And a baby, which is amazing, right? She loves her daughter, obviously. But like, the baby ties you to this man for life, you know? So it's like she doesn't get a clean break from him. And like he's associated with such nasty things, you know? So like when the daughter like grows up and like, you know, reads about her dad and whatnot on the internet, like it's going to be rough, you know? Like I would hate to be in her position having to shoulder those questions or whatnot when it comes to, you know, the daughter or anything like that. So it really, really is sad. Yeah, Naya, I'm really shocked they even got married because their relationship was mad toxic. Like that season leading up to their wedding, horrible. That was the time when he told her he hated the sound of her voice even. Like that was a horrible, toxic, mean couple, man. They never should have been together. Hi, Nowazi. I kept rolling my eyes when Schwartz kept saying he's lost the love of his life. If that's how he treats the love of his life, then I'd be very interested to see how he treats someone he does. Like, you're telling me. I was like, what are you talking about? You made no effort with this woman. She She shouldered the whole relationship and just you spoke to her poorly. You poured a drink on her. You lied to her. You cheated on her numerous times. Like, what are you talking about? The love of my life. Honestly, I feel like Katie is probably thanking her lucky star she never had a kid with him. I'm kind of shocked she even considered having a kid with him. Like, imagine having a kid with someone who can barely take care of himself. Like, that man is still a child in a lot of respects. You know what I mean? Like, ugh. Yeah. What? So I think 50 Cent was saying this was the Hello Fofty era. I'm sorry, Fofty era, which was so iconic, right? But yeah, I think it was around then. Like, he was saying, listen, like Randall's basically a loser and a creep. So give me my money and get away from me. You know, I want nothing to do with you. You're not my friend. Jazz says, I agree. I think if those pictures of Randall and the girls at the hotel wouldn't have come out, Lala would still be with him. You know, like, listen, some girls will stay with a cheater if he's, you know, you see this a lot on TikTok. I don't know if you guys are on TikTok. My friends over here are for sure, but I scroll by a lot of these like videos of girls talking about, oh, like if he cheats on you, but he's rich. And it's like a meme of them just ignoring it and counting money or like showing off their designer pics. I'm like, really? Like, your soul is that cheap? I guess, you know? The fact they didn't get the marriage license, see, that's another thing, you know? Like, was Schwartz doing that on purpose so that it wouldn't be like a legally responsible, like, you know, he wouldn't be legally responsible in this marriage or something like that? I don't know, like, it's just odd. They have nothing to do. They shoot the show and that was it. At the time when they first got married, they did not have Tom restaurant and certainly not Schwartz and Sandy's, and Tom was not even working. He was a part-time model with gigs like once in a blue moon, and he was too anxious to be a bartender. So why did he not have time to do the marriage license or whatever? And then Katie, she stopped working too, remember? So what the heck? Hi, Naya. Schwartz really just wanted to marry the other Tom. Yeah, they're soulmates, I'm telling you. But I think Sandy might be too good for him. I agree. Sandy's too good for him. He deserves me instead. Just joking. You guys, listen, it has been so great recapping the debut episode of Vanderpump Rules with you guys. I am looking forward to doing this again next week, okay? So I'll be back next Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to do episode 2 and again up until the end of the season because VPR is that girl. I also want to let you know that I will be doing, and I think they'll be pre-recorded, videos about Love is Blind because I know how much you guys love that too. So they've got their final few episodes coming out. They're called After the Altar. I believe they drop on Valentine's or tomorrow. They either drop tomorrow on the 10th. I have to look this up. Or on Valentine's Day. Then there's the other one, Perfect Match, which is another Netflix show featuring Love is Blind stars, Selling Tampa stars, Too Hot to Handle stars, and whatnot all together. We're going to talk about that as well. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for joining me for this live chat. I've loved it. This is so fun. I'm always scared to go live, but I'm trying to warm up to it a lot more. Okay, so I'm definitely going to keep doing this for you. Thank you, Stinson. I'm so happy I got to see you again as well. Thank you, Jasmine. Thanks, PR. Thanks, Stephanie. Thanks, Shireen. It's so nice to see you guys all. Take good care of yourselves, okay, and have a great day. Bye.